time to review headlines on today's newspapers with the ombudsman of This Day and Arise Media Group and this day's newspaper Group Executive Director, Kayode Komolafe. We have missed you. You are back from, what do I call it, sabbatical? Where did you go?
Welcome back.
Sabbatical.
It's been a while.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so
let's go straight.
Proceed as always with This Day on Sunday. The lead story here says, Atiku, APC plotting to manipulate judiciary, undermine democracy. The writers say puts international community on alert, asks Nigerians to be vigilant. Presidency says Tinubu, APC will not undermine judiciary over election cases. Your allegation is hollow, wild and mischievous. APC replies, ex-VP. On top of that story, any rerun poll should be between Atiku and I, Tinubu tells court. Says Obi, LP constitutionally barred from recontesting. Sack Tinubu now, Obi tells court in final address. It looks like the final addresses are showing a lot of, reality.
Serious.
If there will be
barred.
Well, we will. It's in the story. But what is interesting though is if there will be a rerun at all, let it be between Atiku and I. And take Obi away so that people like Chris, what could be our guest, will not get emotional, about it, our good friend. On top of that, Army Chief launches special operation to end plateau killings. That's on page 8, and we'll touch on it earlier on the program. And on top of the masthead, 4 governors, Wike, attend appeal court, President's son's memorial service. That's on page 9. Interesting and controversial, as we were discussing off the camera. Your views, it would be nice to know your views, KK, because we also have to acknowledge that this day in this report, acknowledges that there's no evidence that the Supreme Court Justice invited the governors, but then here they are, 4 governors and 1 former governor, some of them still having cases, at the Election Petitions Tribunal. What were they doing there if they were not invited? Last but not the least, on the window, NUPRC approves 19 managers for host communities funds, begin deployment of technology for optimal performance. And I think that we should also have a word on the cover picture, which shows a committee of friends. Here we have the pastor of Redeemed Christian Church, City of David Parish in Lagos, Pastor Idowu Iluyomade, Bright Father, Mr. Tonyeko, CEO Macfoley Hospitality, Mr. Chike Ogea, who's former Commissioner for Information in Delta State, and CEO of GCA Energy Limited, Mr. Greg Wanseru, and of course the chairman of This Day and Arise Media Group, Prince Nduka Obagbena, during the traditional wedding of Cole's daughter, Vanessa, to Chuka Agili in Abonema, Rivers State yesterday. Congratulations to the couple. All right, so KK, that's This Day for you.
Congratulations are in order to our friend, Tonyeko, on the wedding of his daughter. I'm wishing the couple happy matrimony. Now, let's start with the political stories. The big story of this day, is a very important one, and ideas say we should also be mindful of the sensitivity of it. And in saying so, the point, should be made quite clear that all sides, should be sensitive to the integrity of the institution of the judiciary. And when I say all sides, the politicians, the judges, themselves, as well as even the media, the way that will play in this issue. Because what I'm talking about sensitivity is that, unlike other arms of government, if you make an attack on the Senate president, as a politician, he could trade war with you, and reply, if you attack a minister or the president or anybody in the executive, the media people could reply, but a judge cannot be seen as exchanging. So when you are accusing, a judge, you should be very careful because there's that limitation. The CJ cannot, be replying his accuser. Two, in doing this, we should also be mindful of the fact that we don't have a systemic breakdown in Nigeria. There are institutions, which, a lot of work needs to be done to make them work better, to make them stronger, to really build them. But it doesn't mean that these institutions are not there or that they're not working. For God's sake, if you have any allegation, against a judge or whatever, there's the Judiciary Council. You can report. Even though we talk down on the system, judges have been disciplined by the Judiciary Council. Lawyers have been disciplined. Cases have been taken up, and sanctions have been given. Yeah. And some of these allegations that I made, they border on corruption. If you feel that, if you have evidence that a judge, or in any case, whether it is political or not, if you send a petition to the ICPC, investigate, judges and the rest, and they could be taken to court. Judges have been taken to court, and same court, have ruled, on the matter. So when you now reduce the whole thing to political tirades, and people just think that because of the moment you could just raise allegations, and because you are making a political point. What I'm saying is that beyond the election, after all, in the next few months, the election will be concluded judicially. The impact on the institution, on the institution of democracy, in terms of the erosion of the integrity of that particular institution, will be felt, and it will not be good for the system. Yeah. Just since the election, there's been an allegation that the CJ, met Tinubu, allegedly, turned out that in London, it's not been proved, it's been disproved. Just only a few days ago, there was the allegation that I think a member of the panel, resigned, claiming to be under pressure or whatever, and that also, has been debunked. Has been debunked. Thank you. So what I'm saying is that culture, we should be mindful, of the implications of it, that it should not be. Then before we take the other story, let me also, in the Atiku statement, let me also point out this, that Nigerians, I don't know why we enjoy insulting ourselves as a nation. Every time, every politician, from all sides, when you say you put the international community on alert. Are we saying that we are helping? We are not dealing with our own situation. There was January 6th in America, America is dealing with its own electoral problem, What happened in January 6th is worse than whatever has happened in this election. No politician in America, no media organization, no institution, has appealed to any international community to come and help them, or inviting sanctions that people should come and, that another country should come and sanction those who have been accused, of perpetrating the perfidy, of journalists. So what I'm saying is that we should stop this action of saying that we are calling on the international community to stop our problem.
You don't think it has become something of a cliche? People just say, the world is watching, global communities. I don't think it's a serious...
it's more than that.
He's saying that they shouldn't put them on notice. Why are you...
Who are they putting on notice? They're just saying it. They're not putting anybody on notice. No,
they said it in the final address, that they call on the international...
Who are those people?
We should deal with our problems.
Who are they?
We should deal with our problems. If there's any wrongdoing, let us look into our own system, make it strong, and deal with the problem, and not relying on any other country to come and
Mr. Komolafe, we see that you take exception to Atiku's comment because as it relates to the judiciary. But I would like for you to tie it into this 4 governors Wike attend appeal court president's son's memorial. Can you really?
No. Let me make myself clear. I'm not taking the exception to Atiku's statement because I don't know what fact Atiku has.
He put up a lot of different facts.
All I'm just trying to say is that if Atiku has any evidence, that within the system, that it could report, because it's an allegation of corruption. Because if you are saying that the judiciary is being manipulated, it should look into, it should exhaust the possibilities within our institutions, and not just reducing it to, making political
and
carry.
state facts,
so
right?
I'm not in position to take exception to his statement because I don't know what fact he has, inputting. But what I'm just trying to say now. Yeah. Now the other point I'm making, yes, I agree with you. It's related. That is the thing about the integrity of the judiciary.
The judiciary.
No, like I said, it used not to be like that. Like people will tell you about the golden age, for instance, of the Supreme Court. They will mention names of some great justices, of that court. People like Justice Oputa, Esho, Obaseki, and the rest. Now, why people, mention those names, in reference now, is because of the integrity. Because those justices, when they were in the saddle, at the bench in the judiciary, they maintained, the integrity of that institution, that, it's a hallowed place, So the institution whereby, judges are common faces in parties, you have a case before a judge, and then, if I have a case with OG, for instance, and the judge, handling that case, and I see, I open this day style, see, whining, so naturally, as the other party, I will ask some doubt.
And even giving statements.
So that is why, before now, things like that will not happen, because the thing about confidence, it's not just that you should do what is right. Yeah. You should be seen to be doing what is right.
Exactly.
So the optics, of all these things, they matter. And I think that the judges, the judiciary, they should be mindful of it. I think they need a lot of introspection.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, Mr. K, just in a situation like this, before we move on to the next paper, where they're saying that, this is a woman who, of course, we're in a place where she's in an emotional state. That's not what she's thinking about. She's trying to, bury her child. And now you see these 4 governors and ex-governors pull up to the service. At that point, we know that, they have not been invited, but does the onus now, is it on her or on, the system to say, maybe this is not the best place? Because we're talking about optics, of course, and we're talking about the confidence of the public and judiciary system. Who will be responsible for making sure that these kind of things don't happen?
Absolutely. I see the point you're making, and that was the point I'm making, that the caution in this side should be on all sides, not just the judiciary, the politicians, the media, the public, that the question of building the institution of the judiciary it should be a collective effort, and everyone should play its own role. I think the caution, should have been on the part of the politicians. Yeah. Should have been. So I'm saying that, everybody has a role to play.
Absolutely.
The blame should not just be, be put on the judiciary. Yeah. And just quickly before we leave this day, I think this story is very important, and that is the Chief of Army Staff, going to the Mango local, because what has been going on in that local government, that area, it's been very tragic, in the last a few weeks, So I think it is reassuring that the Chief of Army Staff, read the right acts. That is the kind of thing we are calling for in the past. Okay. That that the point should be made clear. That if people go to a place, you start killing people, and as if we live in a lawless society that is not under any security. So the expectation now is that the words, will be matched with action.
Absolutely.
And then the situation in the Mango area will be.
I like that. Let's move over now to this day's style. If we can pull that up, the cover picture there is Her Royal Highness Olori Atuwashe III. Olori. Yoruba.
But you just got it.
Yes. Olori. Okay, it's enough. All right. Queen consort of the Warri Kingdom, leading with grace. So Olori is so beautiful on this cover. Now, she is the daughter of the late billionaire philanthropist Captain Hosa Okumbo Olori Atuwashe III. the queen consort of the Warri Kingdom, grew up amidst privilege, but her parents instilled in her a deep sense of compassion and a burning desire to give back to the community. Beyond being a symbol of elegance, Olori Atuwase III is a champion for social causes, touching the lives of the less privileged in ways that only a compassionate soul can. I mean, this is what we need. We need more compassionate people, especially during this palliative season. We saw Davido, she gave, I mean, that's what I'll call it now. We saw Davido, she gave 237 million naira to 424 orphanages. This is amazing. We need more women like her. Congratulations to her on the cover of This Day. But another story on This Day style.
Well,
yes, I know, she's so regal.
She's royal. Like,
she does.
Regal.
Did you see the video of her with the
in London?
Yes.
The one they attended.
I think I know the video you're talking
yes,
about.
I think it was a European thing.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Absolutely.
Well.
Beautiful.
You were about to touch
Congratulations.
highlights on another story.
Yes, I was, absolutely. And it's the launch of Steve Ayorinde's 30. Yay, it's inside there. 3 decades of the new Nigerian cinema.
Yes.
Steve, amazing. Congratulations on your launch again. This happened
It was in May, actually.
in May, absolutely. I missed it because I was not around. I was very upset that I couldn't come. But I see amazing people here.
Yes.
The list goes on.
They
we have
a
former editor of This Day Style, Ruth Osime, is here, and a host of others, Jide Kosoko, Shola Shobowale, all of these amazing people. And of course, who do we have here?
That's the Alara of Ilara Kingdom.
Alara of Ilara. I know I
who was
had
the
to
former
give it to you.
chairman of the Lagos State Inland Revenue Service.
Absolutely. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Beautiful read.
Thank you.
All right, then.
All right.
Let's go very quickly to the wheel. The top story there says 54 days after the fuel subsidy removal, where are the palliatives? Nigerians ask Tinubu. Majority groan under severe hardship. Naira continues to free fall in parallel market. Economy grinding to a halt. The president's delayed cabinet formation exacerbates the problem. Very quickly, if you could just touch.
Yes,
and this is the wheel, is it?
That's the wheel.
The wheel
But then
paper,
there's
we have
something
that.
similar in Sunday Tribune. There's a special report that says Nigerians workers struggle to stay alive, earn a living, as high cost of transportation depletes salaries and resources. And of course, if you take that with the lead story of the same Sunday Tribune, tuition fee hike, don't take us for granted. Labour warns federal government. NANS threatens nationwide protest, urges Tinubu to prevail on federal varsities management. I think with what the will is saying, yes, there was initial euphoria of the policies, reforms that Ashwaju is making as a president. But then 7 weeks, almost 8 weeks down the line, people are groaning and the suffering is real, KK.
Where are the palliatives?
Legitimate question.
My question.
Yeah, there is. It's a legitimate question.
Yes.
And I expectedly, the media, is supposed to convey, the feelings,
Yes.
as the reality.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is that, what, virtually in all the newspapers, on the front pages, the reality there on the street, on the streets rather, is being conveyed, and it's expected that the government will say that, the patience, of the people, should not be
Taken for granted.
taken for granted, that, because in part the question should even be made broader, that is, it's not just where are the palliatives, but after all, palliatives are supposed to be temporary,
Exactly,
emergency, but what is even more important is the definitive solution,
Yes.
in terms of ensuring
Absolutely.
Yes.
the welfare of the people.
Absolutely.
Which I dare say is what the Constitution says is the duty of government.
It is.
The Nigerian Constitution says the purpose of government should be the welfare and the security, of the people.
Absolutely.
So it will require even more than palliatives. It will require actually having, an economic plan, economic program, in place, and which will be aimed at ensuring the welfare of the people and In that wise, such a policy must have a good dose of anti-poverty content. You know, that is actually what is important is to actually wage war against poverty. You know, through efficacious, policies. You know,
Right, absolutely. The Guardian is
But
saying
it's
that
a
time is
legitimate
ticking for
question.
Tinubu to save poor, vulnerable Nigerians.
Absolutely.
Time
is ticking.
Time waits for no
the
one.
essence.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Komolafe, for joining us, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you very much.
KK.